So continuing from where we stopped, I think I discussed how we can find the resultant of vectors using Casio calculator, and you can also do more than that. So there is this question that I saw in one of your notebooks. I can't recall how the question is exactly, but I can recall that it said we have three vectors, like vector A, vector B, and vector C. So they now gave their values. I think they said this one has magnitude, I'm just guessing values, magnitude 3 units at positive x-axis. That's the first one. Then vector B, magnitude, let's say magnitude 5 units at negative y-axis. Then vector C, I think one of the vectors was not exactly like the remaining ones. I think they gave this one in vector form. I'm not sure. So let's assume, let's say magnitude 5, magnitude 10 at 60 degrees. So the question is now to find the resultant of these vectors. I think they said do A plus B minus C. So it doesn't matter, even if the questions are not exactly the same. Once you can do this, you can do that too. So what you are going to do is that the first one is what? 3 units positive x-axis. So you have to know their angles. It's the angles that we use to enter them into the calculator. So this positive x-axis, at that point our angle is 0 degree. Positive y-axis, our angle is 90 degree. Negative x-axis, our angle is 180 degrees. Then negative y-axis, our angle is 270 degrees. Sorry, not minus, just 270 degrees. So what are we going to do? So we just need to write them in vector form. The first one is 3 units positive x-axis. So we say 3 at an angle of what? 0, right? Then plus the second one is what? 5 units negative y-axis. So that will be 5 at an angle of negative y-axis. So that will be 270. Then minus, because they said minus C, this one is 10 at an angle of 60. So we just say 10 at an angle of 60 degrees. Now we just need to use our calculator to finish this. So we have 3 at an angle of 0 plus 5 at an angle of 270 minus 10 at an angle of 60. So I was able to get a better version of the calculator. Version. So go to mode, choose complex. Complex is number 2, right? So we pick 2. So as you can see on the top of the calculator, we now have complex. So just enter, this is 3. So this is where we have the angle. So you press shift before you press this button, and the angle is 0. Then plus 5 at an angle of 270. Then minus 10 at an angle of 60. So the answer is this. Now just convert it to decimal. So we have minus 2 minus 13.66. But what we need is the magnitude and direction of our answer. So we press shift. Now there is more functions of the complex mode on button number 2. So we press button number 2. Then we pick the third one, that's the resultant and the angle, or the modulus and the angle. So look at that, equal to, so this is what, so we have what, 13.8 what, 13.81 at what angle? at an angle of minus 98.3 degrees. So this is the answer. Now this will also be 13.81. Then this angle is minus 98.3, so you have to add 360 to it. You have to add 360 to it because it is having a negative value. So let's go back. Minus 98.3 minus 98.3 plus 360. So that gives us what? 261.7. So at an angle of 261.7 degrees. So that's going to be the answer. So it's still the same way that we have done the previous one, only that this one they didn't give us the diagram, they give us the vectors in statement form. So if you want to do it, just do it that way. Now another way they can ask you question is that they are going to give you your vectors in vector form. I saw this in your notes, so I'm not sure if they can ask, but let's just try it out. So let's say we have vector A to be 2i plus 3j. You have vector B to be maybe minus 4i plus 5j. So you have vector C to be 7i minus 11j. And the question now says we should find the modulus of A plus B minus, let's say, minus 2c. So what are they asking you to do? They're asking you to evaluate this, then after evaluating it, now do the modulus. That's the meaning of all of this. So what can we do? We can enter all this into our calculator too. We can use our calculator to do this. Let's put this here. So how are we going to do it with our calculator? Now don't forget that if you look at our calculator, it only has I. There is opportunity for us to type I, but there is no opportunity for us to type J. So we don't have that chance. So what are we going to do? Now what we are going to do is that we the part that has I, we leave it out. Then the part that has J, we replace it with I. So that means that if I want to enter this into the calculator, what I will enter is 2 plus 3i. If I want to enter this, I will enter 7 minus 11i. If I want to enter this, I will enter minus 4 plus 5i. So you leave out the I, then where there is J, you replace it with I. So this is what you enter into the calculator. So we have our calculator. So let's do that. So we have, the first one is 2 plus 3i. So you press alpha, you press, is it alpha or shift? Okay, it's shift. So 2 plus 3i, then plus b, right? So b is what? Minus 4i. So you open bracket, minus 4 plus 5i plus 5i, close the bracket, then minus 2c, right? So you put 2 before you type your c. So your c is what? 7 minus 11i. So this is our I, close the bracket, say equal to, so this is what? Minus 16 plus 30i. So everything like this is minus 16 plus 30i. So minus 16 plus 30i. But if it will be in the option, don't forget that there's supposed to be I here, and this I is supposed to be J. So it will be minus 16i plus 30j if it's going to be in vector form in the option. But if it's not going to be in the vector form, you know that we have to find the magnitude of it. So let's go back and find the magnitude. Shift button number 2, select 3, equal to, so we have what? 34 at an angle of 118.07. So the final answer for everything will be 34 at an angle of 118.07 degrees. So that is how we can do all those with our calculator. Now it's also possible that they ask us to do product of vectors, like dot product and cross product. Now dot product is very easy to do manually. I even advise that you don't use calculator to do dot product. I will advise that you don't use calculator to do dot product. Just do it normally, it's faster. But if you want to use if it is cross product, that is a little bit confusing. So if you want to do cross product with your calculator, how can you do it? Now they might not tell you directly in the question that you are supposed to do cross product. They can give you a question, like they can say a force of maybe 3i minus 4j plus 13k acts at a distance of maybe minus 4i plus 5k from a point O. They now say find the moment of the force about O. Now, since they're asking us to find the moment, in scalar form, moment is force multiplied by perpendicular distance, right? So force multiplied by perpendicular distance. Now, if you want to do moment in vector form, that's not how you do moment. Moment in vector form is r, is still the product, but before of all write the distance first. That's r cross f. This is how you do moments. In scalar form, it is just force times perpendicular displacement. When you come here, don't write it as f cross r. You get the wrong answer, because vector product of a and b is not the same thing as vector product of b and a. They don't have the same answers. Vector product is not commutative. It is scalar product that is commutative. So that means that if you ask us to do the moment, this is what we are supposed to do. So you have to do r cross f. Now if you want to do r cross f normally, you have to use matrices to do it. Matrix to do it. So you do something like this. Then you have I, j, k. Then you put the values. I here is 3, j is minus 4, k is 13, right? Now this one is not up to 3. So that means that the j part is missing. So the I part is minus 4. Does it have j part? No. You put 0 there. K part is 5. Then you find the determinant of this matrix, and that will be the answer. Sorry, I'm supposed to do r cross f, right? You see what I'm saying? So that means I should enter the value of r first. So for r, I have minus 4. The j part is 0. The k part is 5. For f, the I part is 3. The j part is minus 4. The k part is 13. So this is what I'm supposed to do. So to do these determinants, I will cancel the row, cancel the column. The first element is I. Then cancel the row, cancel the column, and left with this. So I'm going to have 0 minus 4, 5, 13 minus j, because this plus minus plus. So I say minus j, cancel the row, cancel the column, and left with minus 4, 3, 5, 13 minus 4, 3, 5, 13, then plus k. So cancel this row, cancel this column. I'm left with minus 4, 0, 3, minus 4. So this is going to be I multiply this, that's 0, minus multiply this, that's minus 20. Then minus j, multiply this, 4 times 13, 40 plus 12 is 52, minus 52, minus 15, then plus k. Multiply this, you have 16, minus multiply this, you have 0. So if I simplify this, I'm going to have plus 20, so that will be 20i. Now 52 plus 15, that's going to be 67. So this will be minus 67, but it will be plus 67j, because there is a negative sign here. So if you turn this to positive, then plus 16k. This should be the answer, if I have not made mistake in any of the arithmetic that is here. But we can easily do this with our calculator too. We want to do r cross f. So you take our calculator, you take it to vector mode. You press mode, see vector number 8. So you select 8. Now you have to input your vectors. So let's say you want to input vector a, that is 1. So you press 1. Now our vector a is how many dimensions? But because you pick the biggest dimension that you have in the question, you see that our f has 3 dimensions, our r has only 2. So it's 3 that we are going to pick, because 3 is more than 2. So we now enter the values for our vector a. Our vector a, the I part is 3, the j part is minus 4, and the k part is 13. So we are done. Now as you are entering it, you be pressing equal to, so that it will be inputting the values. So we are done with vector a. So you press AC, then you press shift. You see that there is vector on 5, right? So so you press 5. So we have not yet completed the two vectors. What we just did is what? Only vector A. Now we need two vectors, right? So we select data, then you go for vector B, that's number 2. So you also, although our R has only 2 parts, but because the dimensions must be the same thing before you can use them, so you select 1. So make sure that this one too, you pick 3 parts for it. So the I part is what? -4. The J part, there is no J part in our R, so we put 0, equal to, then the K part is 5, equal to, right? So you now press AC. Now you have inputted both vector A and vector B. Now don't forget that vector A is F, vector B is what? R. Now you want to do R cross F, so that would be B cross A. So you press shift vector, that's number 5. You want to use vector B, that's 4. Then cross shift vector, then you want to use vector A, that's 3. So equal to, so look at this, 20I plus 67J plus 16K. Is that correct? Look at that, 20I plus 67J plus 16K. So we have exactly the same answer. So it's something that is very simple. Mode, go for vector, that's 8. Then you pick one of these vectors, A. Then since the biggest one is 3 dimensions, you pick 3 dimensions. Then you enter the values. You see that we already entered the values. Now from here you can still say, instead of pressing AC, you can say shift, but in number 5 again, that's vector. We want to input data for the second vector, so we pick vector number 2. So that's vector B, because you have already inputted for vector A. Look at this, the answer, the previous values are still there. If they are not there, you input them. So after you have input them, then you can now press AC. Now you don't forget that we use 3 dimensions for both of them, even though one of them is having 2 dimensions. The missing dimension, just replace it with 0. Now I want to do R cross F, which will be B cross A. So you are going to say shift vector, so that's B4, then cross is just normal multiplication, shift vector A, so equal to, so look at that, 20I plus 67J plus 16K. Now if it is the dot product that you want to do, you say shift vector, you select vector A, that's 3, dot is in vector again. Look at it, the 7th option is dot, so you say 7, then shift vector B, 4, so equal to, so the answer is 53. If you do the dot product, you should get 53. So don't forget that dot product is the product of the common components. So this is I, you multiply them, that's 3 times -4 plus, this one has J, this one does not have J, so you say -4 times 0, because there is no J here, then plus 13 times 5. So this is -12 plus 0, 15 times 3 is 45. So we are going to have 45 minus 12, that's going to be 33. Wow, the answer is 53. Our calculator got 53 and I got 33. Where did I make mistake? 13 times 5 is not 45. I thought it was 15 times 3. 13 times 5 is 65. So 65 minus 12, that's 53. You see? So you can easily make mistake while doing the calculation, and our calculator will never make mistake. So the answer is actually 53. Our calculator got it right. So that's how you do vector product with your Casio calculator. Is there any other thing that we are supposed to know? Oh, even if there is, I will have to shift it to the next video.